Iowa Congresswoman, candidate for U.S. Senate, Ashley Hinson. Great to see you this morning, Congresswoman. So I'd like to start with Trump's remarks on the economy from last night's address. Let's take a listen.
Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22% and in many states 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too.
All right, just want to get your thoughts on that 18-minute address that we heard last night.
Yeah, well, I'm so proud to be an Iowan, and I'm so proud to be an American under President Trump, and he is delivering these historic wins for Iowans and Americans. And when we look at what he talked about last night, he is focused on affordability. He's focused on fixing what President Biden broke with his autopen over 4 years of devastating bad policies for our country. The Democrats' only answer to all of these problems is to spend more money and regulate. Our answer is to put those dollars back in the hands of the American people and reduce regulations so we can unleash our economy. And we're starting to see the fruits of that and everything we've done this year, and I can't wait to see what we are able to accomplish next year in Washington.
Yeah, the big new piece of information, Congresswoman, was the warrior dividend going to all service people in America. $1,776 in honor of our country's founding, 1776. All also coming from tariff revenue. What do you make of that and what it's going to do for our military families, basically in all service branches?
Yeah, well, we need to let our military families know we appreciate them. Just yesterday, the NDAA passed the Senate, so we're sending that on to President Trump for his signature to make sure our servicemen and women get a raise and make sure we're taking care of our military, making those investments we need to make for national security. But part of that investment is in our people and making sure that we are sending that message that we appreciate you. You're putting your name on that line to defend and protect our country. Freedom isn't free, and so I think it's the least we can do to make sure we're taking care of our troops, and I think the president certainly acknowledges that as the commander-in-chief.
Congressman, I want to move on to Congress's health care battle as well. The House, as you know, recently passed the GOP plan, Lower Health Care Premiums for All Americans Act. I know you voted yes. It now moves to the Senate, looking like it's not going to pass there, at least before the deadline. What do you make of all this and really this battle that's been going on now for the past few weeks, more than a month?
Yeah, well, certainly I think that it's very clear we share a goal of lowering health care premiums, making the cost of health care more affordable. It's too expensive for so many families just like mine. I watch those premiums go up and that monthly coming out of my paycheck, right? I think we all see that. And so my goal is to make sure we're lowering those costs for the American people. Yesterday's piece of legislation was a step toward that in trying to do that, more transparency, different ways where people can lower the cost of health care and be more competitive with health care plans. So that's what we were trying to offer. Not just a continuation of subsidies that are going directly to insurance companies and don't do anything to actually lower those premiums for the American people. Not to mention are rife with waste and fraud. And so when I look at, the recent report that came out showing that we're able to enroll more than 20 people fraudulently in these plans, that's billions of dollars of taxpayer money going down the drain. So we need to do something to fix it, and I'll continue working with my colleagues to make sure we can get something across the finish line.
So, Congresswoman, I know a few minutes ago we talked about the warrior dividend benefiting the men and women in our nation's uniforms, and also in that spirit, you attended the dignified transfer ceremony, I believe yesterday, for fallen Iowa National Guard servicemen who were killed by ISIS in Syria. Sergeant William Howard, Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar. You, along with President Trump, met the families of the fallen. Can you share with us about that moment?
It was, I'm not going to lie, it was a really tough day. It was hard to sit there and talk to these families and know that they, again, these young men and women put their lives on the line for our country. And I had to say to more than one family yesterday, we as parents should never be burying our children. We should outlive them. And so it was a very tough day for our country. But I think that being there to witness that dignified transfer and just see what that means to those families, what that meant to have the president come and talk to them. The Secretary of War was also there yesterday, and our governor and members of our delegation. So we stand with Iowans. We stand with our Iowa National Guard families. And it's a sad time to have to bury these men around the holidays. But we want them to know we're with them.
Yeah.